Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, O Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava, Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Gurudev.
जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्टार्य अष्टोदक श्रीमद श्री अभय चरणारविंद ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हो। जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्टार्य अष्टोदक श्रीमद श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज परम गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद जी की जय हो। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय हो। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय हो। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय हो। जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन धाम की जय हो। वृंदावन मथुरा द्वारकापुरी धाम की जय हो। नीलाचल क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय हो। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माता जी की जय हो। श्री श्री राधा माधव जी की जय हो। श्री श्री राधा माधव जी की जय हो। श्री श्री राधा रानी की जय हो। निताय गौर सुंदर भगवान की जय हो। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की जय हो। ऑल ग्लोरी टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज हरे कृष्ण। ऑल ग्लोरी टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज हरे कृष्ण। ऑल ग्लोरी टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज हरे कृष्ण। ऑल ग्लोरी, ऑल ग्लोरी, ऑल ग्लोरी श्री गुरु एंड गौरंगा।
Namaste Narashringaya Prahladavanadaine Hiranyakashi Purvaksha Shema. Narsingamadin Saranam Prapade. Tavagana Kamala Bare Nata Madhuta Shringa Davita Hiranya Kashipu Dana Vrindam Keshavadita Narahariduba Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Keshavadita Naraharirupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Jaya Nashingadev, 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 Jaya Nashingadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Thank you.
Shinga Bhagwan ki.
Ki jai. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone to ISKCON Baltimore, aboard of Nitai Gaur Sundar, Jagannath Subhadramai, Radha Madhav and Giri Govardhan. So welcome everyone Sunday Feast program, one day before our biggest festival of the year, Krishna Janmashtami. Haribo. So that's it. Not much excitement is there for Krishna appearing. Haribo. There you go. That's it. That's it. Wonderful. So it's going to be a fun-packed thing. I think this time we're expecting record number of people coming here. And we have sent on the WhatsApp group, please follow directions about parking everything. Gopal Prabhu and the police officer are there. Please don't give him a hard time. Parking is all there. Their shuttle buses are going through to the Catonsville High School. this area will be blocked off. So requesting, please comply with that, because previous years there's a lot of heated arguments happen, thinking that people can get access. But unfortunately, we are limited space what we can do, and also we have to be careful we don't use a fire lane there, because the school has been so merciful to us for like last 5, 7, 8 years. They allow us to park there. So if we are disciplined, we can have always park, because if they refuse the permission, that can cause a lot of problems for that. So requesting everyone, this whole parking lot will be closed after 1:32 p.m. because we'll be setting up all the tents, everything. So when you come around 6 o'clock when the festivities start, then try to, whoever first come, first away, so you can park in the school. And then after that, you can go to Catonsville High School. And also, if you don't want to go there, the Mellor Avenue right behind, there's a free parking. There's hundreds of cars can be parked there. So you have many, many spaces there. Mellor Avenue, I don't know, you know that this garden, the playground, right across is the Mellor Avenue, the road, and there are like hundreds of parking. But that's like last resort if you don't want to park in the Catonsville High School. We'll have security guards everywhere, a police everywhere, so everybody will be safe, their belongings will be safe. But then Catonsville School are here for that one. So requesting everyone to please honor our request. And today, our temple pujaris had dressed DT so beautifully. We'd like to thank you, all of them. Loud for them, please. We have one sponsor. Ronak Shruti Patel Mataji are sponsoring for their son Arjun's birthday. Are they here? Oh, they're right there, Prabhu. Huh? Okay, they're here. They're not here. Okay. Perfect. So what do we say? Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna to you, Hare Krishna to Arjun, Hare Krishna to you. Hey Bo, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. You can take blessings. Have some blessings of Lord. I remember when Arjun first born, they brought Arjun in the temple, and look at him, he's becoming such a fine young man. Very soon he's going to be playing Kirtan here. And then leading the Kirtan also. And Krishna Prasad will be retired by that time. So thank you for sponsoring Mataji Prabhuji. Appreciate that. Next week, good Prabhu. Thank you. Okay, so now we have abbreviated program right now because, we have a lot of planning to be done. So we'll have 30 minutes class till 5:40. And then after that, we are asking devotees, Mataji and Prabhus, to divide into groups. Mataji several can go down. We need 10, 12 people to cut the vegetables so they can help out. And then many Prabhus can come outside, make sure that we have any tent issues there and cleanliness, so some cleanness we can do that. And then 6:30 we'll serve prasadam for that one. So this way we all ready for tomorrow. It'll be a wonderful time. So today I think we thought anytime you program, we should always have some Krishna Katha. And today I'm very honored and blessed. We are a very special devotee, Chaitanya Chandra Prabhuji. Haribo. Many people don't know him, but he's one of the most eloquent, wonderful, well-versed. He's a critical physician, so he thinks everything according to critical care. Everything he analyzes so well, but he's so humble. He runs a very nice Bhakti Vriksha. He's disciple of Radhanath Maharaj. And of course, his blessings. He's doing such wonderful services in the temple and in the Bhakti Vriksha. Many new people inspired from him. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for coming.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Shri Krishna Janmashtami Mahotsav ki jai. So, it's my great honor to be sitting in front of you and getting this wonderful opportunity to serve the wonderful Vaishnav community in this fashion. It's my first time speaking, so please excuse me for any shortcomings. Today it's a festival environment, and all our senior devotees are busy, engaged in so many different services. So Prabhu kindly asked me to take up this service. So please bless me that I may speak something that glorifies our Guru Parampara. So I'll start by offering my prayers. Om Agyantimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukham karoti vachalam panghum langhayate girim yat kripatam ham vande Shri Gurudin Taranam. Hare Krishna Krishna. So for the topic for today, what I got inspired to talk, there was a wonderful lecture I'd heard by a devotee a few years ago that really stuck to my heart, and I wanted to share something from that lecture with everybody. And the topic was preparing our consciousness for Janmashtami. So you know, tomorrow is Janmashtami, and when I came to the temple today and I went down to the basement, I saw the mood of Vrindavan. You saw devotees engaged in so many different services. Somebody was doing drama practice, somebody was cutting vegetables, somebody was making flowers. It was such a beautiful atmosphere. And we are having so many preparations going on because it's one of our biggest festivals tomorrow. But in addition to all the preparation that we are doing, you know, including creating the stage, the kitchen fest and everything, one of the most important things that we need to prepare for is our consciousness. What does Janmashtami really mean to us? Are we just celebrating, having fun, doing kirtan tomorrow? Or are we elevating ourselves, our spiritual consciousness, to a certain depth that, you know, forever can change our lives? Because that is the power of such wonderful tithis. Okay? So I'm going to divide my short talk into 3 parts. First, we'll talk about why do we need to, you know, imbibe this new consciousness? Why do we need to make this preparation? The second part is going to be what happens when you invite Krishna into your life? What happens when you change your consciousness? And the third and the most important part is how do we actually do it? Okay? So why? So a question for the kids. I don't see many kids here. But, all right. Okay. So what time of the day was Krishna born? Can anybody say? So Krishna appeared at midnight. So is that considered a very auspicious time? Is it a good time? We normally say don't be outside at night, right? Come home early, it gets dark, right? So why did Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, choose to appear at such an inauspicious time? So in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 3rd chapter, 1st shloka, Sukadev Goswami says, Atha sarva gunopeta kalaha param shobhana. He says, Kala param shobhana. The time became param shobha. It just not became shubh or auspicious. It became param shubha when the Lord decided to appear. So when the Lord appears, it doesn't matter if it's day or night or what part of the day, what the constellation is. The whole universe works and arranges itself that everything becomes auspicious. But how does that matter to us? It matters to us, dear devotees, because when we realize, when we understand the truth, when we think a little deeper about ourselves in life, we realize that there is a lot of inauspiciousness in our own heart. We have terrible disease that we are suffering from. We have lust, anger, and greed. But when we invite Krishna into our heart, when we ask Krishna, Krishna, just like you appeared on this earth several years ago to deliver us from this evil, please, we pray sincerely to Radha Madhav, please appear in my heart and destroy all the evil that's present. Who wants to change lust into love? Who wants to change anger or arrogance into humility? And who wants to change greed into kindness? So, in order to change all these things that are there in our own heart, we have to welcome Krishna into our own consciousness. That is the why we need to prepare our mind so we can understand or appreciate this consciousness of Janmashtami. Now, what happens when you invite Krishna into your heart? So when you invite Krishna into your heart, let me warn you, you start off with an adventure. Who wants to go on an adventure? Who likes the morning, the routine life, 9 to 5, going and just waiting for when is Saturday going to come, right? Or do you want a life that every day is full of excitement, full of something that you look forward to? You know, you get up in the morning, you sing, you dance. Who does that normally? Well, you come to the temple, you see devotees do that every day. So when you invite Krishna into your life, what happens? You start a life of an adventure. Because Prabhupada used to say that Krishna consciousness is not something static, that you're doing the same thing every day, you know, chanting. Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada said, is not static, it is ecstatic. You know, there is ecstasy. There is newness in everything that we do. We get new energy, we get new relationship with Krishna as we delve deeper and deeper into our spiritual consciousness. So let's see what happened to Vasudev. So when Lord Krishna appeared into the prison of Kansa in Mathura, Vasudev, he was a prisoner and he was tied down by shackles and chains. And that prison was a heavily fortified prison because Kansa knew that the 8th child of Devaki is going to be his demise. So he had that prison fortified by 16 gates. In addition to 16 gates, there were multiple guards and lions that were protecting the prison. So similarly to in that analogy, the devotee explains what happens is when, less like Vasudeva accepted Krishna, and when we accept Krishna into our consciousness, the first thing that happened to Vasudeva was his chains broke, his shackles broke. So what will happen if we accept Krishna into our consciousness? Our chains will also break. And what chains do we have, devotees? The chains that we have is our bad habits. So there's some habits that we have. We sometimes maybe get angry very easily. Sometimes we're lazy and we postpone things. And we say, somebody tells us, why can't you give it up? And you say, I'm trying, but it's just not happening. I'm just not able to give it up. But when you accept Krishna into your life, automatically those shackles or the chains of bad habits start to give away. The next thing that happened to Vasudeva, when Krishna appeared in the prison cell, all the 16 gates opened up, and he had a clear path to go outside. So those 16 gates for us represent the 16 elements, that is the 5 karmendriyas, the 5 jnanendriyas, the 5 pancha mahabhut, that is our gross body, and the last one, the 16th element, is the mind, mana shastani indriyani. So these 16 elements, they become very favorable for us to advance in spiritual life when we accept Krishna into our heart. But what happens once the gate is open? Then you have the lions and the guards to deal with. The lions and the guards, they represent lust, anger, greed. So even when you come into spiritual life, you can still fall prey to this, to pride, to envy. But when you accept Krishna with true consciousness in your heart, those lions and those guards, they all go to sleep. One time, when Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, he was visiting a place, a lot of devotees, they came together and they were showing their appreciation and they were bowing down in front of him and they were trying to touch his feet. So one devotee asked him, Prabhupada asked one of his secretaries that, do you know why they're offering me so much obeisances? Why they're trying to touch my feet? And he said, no, Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, because I am free of lust. And then Prabhupada didn't realize he was free of lust, but he didn't want it to be taken in another sense. So he corrected himself and told the devotee, actually, I'm not free of lust, but I just don't have any time for it. So when we take Krishna consciousness into our heart, these lions and the guards of lust, anger, greed, they all go to sleep. And just like Vasudeva, he took Krishna and he was able to walk out of that prison. Similarly, if we take that spirit of Janmashtami, that consciousness in our heart, we'll also be able to walk out of that prison. And then what happened when he walked out? It was night time. There was a thunderstorm. It was dark. He couldn't see anything. He didn't have a torchlight with him. But Krishna's body is so effulgent that everything became bright around him, and his path also became clear. So similarly, when we accept Krishna in our heart, we get the knowledge of spiritual enlightenment. And everything in our life that we come across, because eventually something will go wrong in our life. We face, even when we devotees, in this material world, we face so many negative situations. But with the light of spiritual knowledge, we know exactly what to do when we are faced with those situations. So just like that, Vasudeva had a very clear path of how to go out of that prison. So, dear devotees, when we accept Krishna into our heart, we may have a little bit of inconveniences because Krishna takes us out of our comfort zone. Normally, we like to be in our comfort zone. I'm living my life nicely, I have my family. I'll just come to the temple, just pay obeisances and go home. But if you really want a much more deeper connection with God, then we need to step out of our comfort zone. And when we surrender to Krishna, he allows us to take that step out. And if we trust him, if we have faith in him, he'll set us at a higher comfort zone, but it will be at a higher spiritual consciousness than what we are right now. So in order to do that, we have to take the first step from our heart and surrender to Krishna. So now the next question that comes up is, now how? So we talked about why we need to do this, and we talked about what happens, but the question remains is, how do we prepare our consciousness for Janmashtami? So let me share a couple sort of examples from Srimad Bhagavatam with you. So there was this wonderful Leela that the devotee describes, and I'm sure a lot of people may have heard about this Leela, about the fruit seller. Right? So in rough, you may know the brief story of the fruit seller, how she meets Krishna. But this devotee was sharing this particular pastime from a text called Gopal Champu by Srila Jiva Goswami. So this is a very nice work by Srila Jiva Goswami, in which he expresses multiple different rasas or mellows of the intimate pastimes of Krishna. So the way this pastime begins is, there is a devotee who is a fruit seller. So she comes to Vrindavan. When she comes to Vrindavan, so she's carrying a basket full of fruits. So she's calling out to everybody, take some mangoes, take some bananas, take some apples, take some mangoes. So she's talking like that. So a group of devotees approaches her, and she says, oh, they said they look like really wonderful fruits, you know. She says, yeah, would you like to have them? They're like, yeah, they look nice, but did you give it to Krishna? She said, who is Krishna? I don't know who Krishna is. And said, you don't know who Krishna is in Vrindavan? So they said, no. She said, oh, you know what? Krishna is a wonderful, most beautiful boy in Vrindavan. You know, when he was small, one wicked witch came. Her name was Putana. And she did this to him. And this is how they go on describing that Leela. And she hears from them very attentively. And she's very amazed. And she says, whoa, that's wonderful to hear. And she moves on. Take some mangoes, take some bananas, take some apples. So she goes on a little bit forward, and another group of devotees comes and say, wow, have you given this to Krishna? And she says, oh, I don't know who Krishna is. Like, you know, once when Indra came and he created such a big thunderstorm, Krishna, he picked up one big hill, Govardhan hill, on his little pinky finger. He is so powerful. Like, oh, really? Similarly, she kept on going. As she kept going, trying to sell her fruits, she met different devotees who kept sharing different pastimes about Krishna. You know, Krishna, he has lotus-like eyes, and he wears these wonderful earrings, and his lips are so wonderfully red-colored. And she was, as she heard from these pure devotees, she was drowning in that nectar of Krishna Katha. You know, sometimes, you know, once a year when we have His Holiness Radha Raman Maharaj come and visit us, and he shares these intimate pastimes from Vrindavan, how much joy we feel. So we can only imagine that fruit seller, when she was directly hearing from a Vrajvasi about all the pastimes of Krishna, she started getting desperate, because she was like, who is this personality? Everywhere I go, nobody wants my fruits. They all want to tell me about Krishna. And he said, I've heard so many wonderful things about him. I'd really like to meet him. You know, sometimes we meet people and we say, you know what, I've heard so many nice things about you. It's nice to put a face to a name. Nice to meet you in person. So she was also like, I want to meet this person. Her whole village is talking about him and telling me he lifted the Govardhan hill and he did so many wonderful pastimes. Who is this Krishna? Where can I find Krishna? You know. And what is amazing, dear devotees, I want to bring your attention to this point, is when those devotees saw those fruits, look at their consciousness. The first question was, did Krishna have these fruits? And normally, when we in a material consciousness, we see something, we're like, oh, this is nice, I'm going to enjoy it. Right? These are nice, ripe mangoes. But the devotees of Vraj, they are always thinking about Krishna. I can share one funny incident. When I was in college, in my beginning years of Krishna consciousness, we had this very simple and humble devotee. So sometimes to pull his leg, some devotees used to, if they felt like eating mangoes, it was mango season, because in college life, in medical college, you have limited resources and income. So they used to go to his room and say, oh, what? You did not offer any mangoes to Krishna? And he was like, Oh, no, 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 I forgot to offer mangoes to Krishna. This evening I'm going to offer mangoes to Krishna. And they were like, good, good, it's a good idea. And that evening they used to go to his room in the hostel and enjoy mangoes. So you see, the consciousness of devotees is how to please Krishna in each and every step. So in that spirit, as she heard very attentively from the Vrajvasis, she kept on hearing. First she was saying, take some mangoes, take some bananas. She started saying, oh, take Madhav, take Govinda, take Damodar, because she was just thinking about Krishna. And then one devotee stopped her and said, Rere Mataji, what are you saying? Oh, I'm saying take some fruits. So no, 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 you're saying take Madhav, take Govinda. Like, no, 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 I didn't say that. She was madly in love with Krishna. She was desperate to meet Krishna. And she kept saying that, Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. So she kept saying, hey Govinda, hey Damodar, hey Madhava. And when she was so desperate, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he arranged for her to come next to his home. So she was sitting, she didn't realize, but she was sitting outside the home of Nanda Maharaj. So when she was calling like that, Krishna came out and she saw this little boy coming, who's looking so beautiful, wearing a yellow dhoti. When she saw him come, and she was like, are you Krishna? Are you my dear Krishna? And he was looking at her, yes, I am Krishna. He said, oh, I've been waiting to meet you. I've heard so many wonderful things about you. I'm so grateful. I'm so fortunate that finally I got to see you, Krishna. And, then Krishna asked, Mataji, what are you doing here? And she's like, oh, I'm just came to sell some fruits. And Krishna said, oh, really? Can I also have some fruits? And the Mataji said, yes, but before that, can I ask you for a favor, Krishna? So Krishna said, what? Mataji said, can you please call me Ma once? Can you just say Ma? Krishna said, Mataji, if I say that, then Yashoda Mata will scold me. And she was sitting, she's watching from inside the house. How can I call somebody else Ma? So they said, but I can like to take some fruits. So she gives the fruits to Krishna. So Krishna carries the fruits in his hand and he goes inside the home. And then he because of barter system in that time, so Krishna, he takes some grains in his hand and he comes out, tum, 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 like this, he comes walking out. And when he's walking, obviously a child holding in his palm grains, how much will stay in the hand? A lot of the grains fall down, and by the time he reaches the fruit seller, there's only a few grains that are left to give to her. And he says, oh Mataji, is this going to be enough? And she says, yes, Krishna, this will be enough. But can you please call me Ma once? So then Krishna looks around and he says, Ma. And she hears that and she becomes in full ecstasy. She's completely mad. She's like, oh Krishna, thank you, Krishna, so much. But Krishna says, but now I have to go. My mother is waiting for me. And so he goes back and she watches him. As she's watching him go back, she's just lost in his memories, thinking about him, thinking about how wonderful he looks and all the wonderful things she's heard about that. And with those thoughts in mind, she's now returning back to her village. So when she's supposed to cross the Yamuna, so when she's trying to cross the Yamuna, she gives the basket. And when she reaches the other end, the boatman helps get the basket out, but it's very heavy. They need 2-3 people to take the basket out. And he asks, Mataji, what happened? This basket was very light earlier. How come it's so heavy now? So when they open the basket, do you know what they find in the basket? Instead of the fruits, there were lots of jewels in there. How would we feel if we opened our basket and we found the basket was full of jewels and diamonds? Anybody? How would we feel if I get that? Right? We would feel ecstatic. We're like, wow, this is a nice deal, right? Every day I'll come here and get some fruits and then I'll take some diamonds back, right? It's a nice business plan. The best story from rags to riches, right? In one night. But you know what that Mataji said? He said, Krishna, you cheated me. You are a cheater. I came here looking for love. I wanted to be your mother. But you gave me this instead? What did you do, Krishna? I don't want this. I want only your loving devotional service. Krishna, Krishna. And like that, she kept thinking about Krishna all night and she left her body. अंतकाले च मामेव स्मरन् मुक्त्वा कलेवरं यः प्रण्याति समद्भावं याति नास्ति अत्र संशया. Because she was desperate in love of Krishna, when she left her body, she went from this Vrindavan Dham to Golok Vrindavan Dham. Haribo Krishna. So, in this manner, what we learn how to develop that consciousness of preparing ourselves for Janmashtami. So, what do we need? We need that desperation. We need to step out of our comfort zone. You know, we need to do something more other than just what we're ordinarily doing. Because when we step out of our comfort zone, when we take one step towards Krishna, Krishna takes 1,000 steps towards us. There is another wonderful example that's given, that of Makhan Chor Krishna. So when Krishna had to steal butter from the house of the gopis, he used to plan. So he used to make a plan in the evening because he liked fresh morning butter. So he used to mark the house. Okay, they used to make a plan, all the gopas. Tomorrow, this gopi's house will go to steal butter. And they used to mark that. So the next morning, Krishna and his gopas would go and get fresh morning butter. So, you know, why just like Krishna likes fresh morning butter, he also likes fresh morning chanting. So that is why we should all focus and, you know, chant our rounds, try to remember Krishna and worship Krishna early in the morning, so that we can offer, when our minds are fresh after sleeping and we have full concentration, we can offer that full concentration and consciousness to Krishna. So the way he used to decide which gopi's house is going to steal butter from is which gopi was most desperate. And which gopi used to pray, Krishna, I know you are the son of Nanda Baba and you have so many cows, but still I would like to offer you a little bit butter. Can you please come and accept my offering of butter, Krishna? So with the one who had the most desperation in her prayer, Krishna would mark that house and come steal butter from that house. So that is why when we want Krishna in our life, when we want to prepare our consciousness and get into the mood for Janmashtami, you know, who wants Krishna in their home to come steal butter? Who wants Krishna in their heart? Who's ready for an adventure? So if we are ready for an adventure, we have to become mad for Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Man Mana Bhav. What bhakto? How do you spell that? M-A-D. Man Mana Bhav, mad bhakta. You have to become mad for me, right? When you say it in English. So in that sense, we realize. So Srila Prabhupada used to say that Krishna consciousness is very easy. It's very easy. All we have to do is sit down and open our hearts to the Lord. And we need to sincerely and desperately offer our prayer for surrender. But although it is easy, Prabhupada said it is not cheap. No? It is not something that we can just come and do in one day. We have to be very sincere in our desire, in our prayers for Krishna. So in this way, dear devotees, we can get into this mood, have this desperation that tomorrow is Janmashtami, you know. We're going to set the stage, we're going to make nice prasad, we're going to have nice drama, but we will also hear nice Krishna Katha. As we hear nice Krishna Katha, we'll develop that desperation in our heart, that great intensity of longing for Krishna. Krishna, I don't just want to come and see you and pay obeisance every day and go away, but I actually want to have a deeper connection with you. I want to understand you. I want to truly and madly fall in love with you, Krishna. Because the truth is, whenever we are in love with somebody, we truly, if somebody's been in that experience, then we become mad and we come out of our comfort zone. So I know, for example, as a father, as parents, when we love our children, we do a lot of things which ordinarily we might not do, but just for the sake of our children's happiness, we come out of our comfort zone and say, okay, you know, for you I'll do it. Not for anybody else, just for you. So similarly, when we come and come in front of Krishna, we should have this prayer, Krishna, for you, I'll do anything and everything. Okay? Right, with this, I'll end the talk today. Okay? Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. If there's anything you liked in the talk, this is all because of our glorious parampara. I'm just repeating the words. If there's any offenses I made, it's because of my own mistakes. Please forgive me. We're open to any comments or questions anybody may have. Krishna. Thank you, my Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu, for a wonderful class, especially helping us to prepare our consciousness. And also you use nice past tense of Krishna we got to hear from you. It's very relishing past tense, Prabhuji. One question I have, when you were describing about how Vasudeva went out of the prison, you were describing about the 16 elements. What happens to 16 elements you were saying? I could not catch it, Prabhuji.
So those 16 elements, they represent the 16 elements of the body. So the karmendriyas, the five knowledge acquiring senses, 5 working senses, the 5 gross elements of the body, and the 16th is the mind. So this composes the body. So when we accept Krishna in our heart, we accept the bodily consciousness. We escape the bodily consciousness. Because our consciousness is, for most part, the root of all our problems is we think we are this body, not the soul. But when we accept Krishna into our heart, we realize that we are more than this body. We are not this body, but we are the spirit soul inside it. So that limitation that's there, we escape from it. We no longer, at least consciously, have to deal with all just the problems of the body. We try to rise above that consciousness. That's my understanding. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
As we said, Prabhu is a treasure house. The treasure you always keep for later. So today, just before Janmashtami, we have to expose the treasure to everybody. What a wonderful class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So now I'm requesting devotees. I think Mataji, many Matajis are there. They can come and help downstairs cutting vegetables. And then Prabhus can come out, help out. And I think we can clean the temple hall also. And then 6:30 we'll serve prasadam. And then we'll be ready for next day for that one. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.